Dobra, pójdziemy przed las. Co będzie czy nie? Wody.
Good day to you. What do you need?
I'm searching for a stable boy from Neuhof. They call him Ginger.
Yeah, I know him right enough, but I don't know where he is now.
He's run away from the stud farm. I have to find him.
Well, he's definitely not here. Try the other charcoal burners camp downstream. Maybe he's there.
Good day to you. What do you need?
Has anyone here seen Ginger?
That boy from the stud farm?
Yes, that's the one. Is he around?
No, he's not here. But he passed through not long ago on the way to Talmberg. You follow the stream to the west, and you'll find more charcoal burners there.
Good day to you.
Has anyone here seen Ginger?
That boy from the stud farm?
Yes, that's the one. Is he around?
Oh, he's not here. But he passed through not long ago, on the way to Talmberg. Follow the stream to the west, and you'll find more charcoal burners there.
we got here? Entertainment.
Oh,
Good.
Get one.
Come here, Lily Liver.
Good day to you.
I'm searching.
Right.
He's run away from the...
Good day to you. What do you...
Do you know where I could find Ginger?
Who?
The stable boy from Neuhof. I've heard he's friends with some charcoal burners.
Oh. Damn.
good day to you.
I'm certain he's run away from the stud.
Well, he's definitely not here. Try the other charcoal.
A good day to you. What do you need?
I'm looking for Ginger from Neuhof. Do you know anything about him?
I know him. What do you want of him?
There's a few questions I need to ask him.
Well, you'll have to go somewhere else to find him. He doesn't come here much.
So where does he usually go if not here?
You think we're the only...
Under every stone in it.
And you don't need to look under every stone. All you have to do is follow the river, and you might just run into another camp.
I could give you something to loosen your lips. What do you say?
I enjoy a good chat, but not even Silver can open my mouth when I don't know anything.
I see. But we can come to some kind of agreement. Satisfied?
Well now, a little more and we'll shake on it.
What about this?
Well now, a little... Look, I really can't.
Do you know where I could find the stable boy from...
Oh, I know who.
There's something else. I really must...
And you think he had a hand in it?
Hard to say. He ran away, but on the other hand, it seems he stabbed one of the attackers.
Well, when you put it like that, it's clearly urgent business. I do know him. Not personally, but I've seen him around. He's friends with the charcoal burners down by Townburg. I know he hangs around with the twins there.
Downstream by Townburg. Somewhere by the castle.
If you follow the river to the west, you're bound to run into them. One more thing.
Yes?
Some other men have been around asking about him, but they weren't as convincing as you.
No dobra. O, no to ja za dużo dostawka jakaś.
What is it?
first time you vexed his master. I figured there was a wench behind it. Good day to you. What do you need?
Where are you hiding Ginger?
How did you... What the hell are you talking about?
Don't try that one on me. I know he's friends with a pair of twins from here. I'm here on the orders of Sir Hanush, and I need to talk to Ginger about the raid on the stud farm.
If Sir Hanush sent you, then you should deal with those two cutthroats who've been creeping around here asking about the poor boy. Once you take care of them, we won't have to hide him anymore.
All right, I'll deal with them. And then you'll tell me where you've got Ginger hidden, right?
Right. You get rid of them, and I'll tell you.
So where can I find these bandits?
I'm not sure exactly. There's lots of places to hide around here. But they came and went over the bridge, so I reckon they must be somewhere between here and our neighbours.
That's a lot of woods to comb through.
Not all that much. There's a path around there somewhere leading to an abandoned camp.
My respects to you, sir.
I'm looking for Ginger, a stable boy from Neuhof.
Then why don't you look for him at the stud farm?
He was there, but now they say he's hiding amongst some charcoal burners.
And where did you hear that? Anyhow, there's no one of that description here. Try asking somewhere else.
I've been to the other camps and they told me I'd definitely find him here.
How could they know that? They just wanted to get rid of you.
I wouldn't say that. They realise I'm trying to help.
Oh, aye? And how's that?
That boy witnessed a murder and probably killed one of the murderers. I'm sure those cutthroats are already looking for him, and if I could find my way here, so could they. And when they do, they won't be asking their questions as nicely as I have.
Aye. Well, as it happens, they've already been here. And you're right, they weren't pleasant. It's my duty to protect these men, and I fear I won't be able if that pair come back.
Well then, what are we going to do?
We're going to do it my way. First you get rid of those two murdering dogs, and then I'll tell you what I know.
But I don't know where to look for them.
They're always wandering about here. Their hideout must be somewhere nearby. They came here from the east, across the bridge, threw their weight around, and then went back the same way. And I know of only one place in that direction.
What place is that?
There was a camp between here and the charcoal burners in the east. They're most likely there. We'll lead you.
That's fair. I'll look for them.
The words of a true man. Once you take care of them, come back and we'll talk.
God be with you.
Where's Ginger? I must speak with him.
Who? There's no one of that name here.
Then where did he go? Everyone told me I'd find him here.
But
Topsidiere. Is that all you? You're dead.
I'll have you.
Oh dear, did that hurt? Gone weak at the knees, have you?
If he really is one of his lordship's men.
Dobra, udało się.
Jesus, look where you're going.
What the hell?
God be with you, good sir.
I'm looking for Ginger, a stable boy from Neuhof.
Then why don't you look for him at the stud farm? And where did you...
I've been... And when they do, they won't be out.
Aye.
Our paths crossed.
So how did it turn out?
They're dead.
Ginger was here, but the lads hid him away somewhere. I suppose there's no need for that any...
That's right. You're safe.
All right. They're hiding him nearby. A little way along the route to Uzhitz, there's a path to the right leading to a spring. From there, you'll find an overgrown trail to a ruined hut.
Finally, some useful information. Thank you, charcoal burner.
Jesus, look. What is it?
Good health to you.
You don't have to worry about those bandits anymore. I've dealt with them.
Really? And I suppose I have to take your word for it.
If you want proof, I can take you to them. Maybe I should have brought you their heads.
I'll take your word for it. All right, a bargain's a bargain. There's an overgrown path that...
Good. Thanks for... Jesus, you've led me a merry dance.
What do you want from me?
I want to ask you a couple of questions. Why did you run off like that? Where are your cronies? And why did you kill that bandit?
What?
Right, one thing at a time. Why did you run off in such a hurry?
Because I was afraid they'd come back and kill me.
Who?
Those bandits, of course.
To get revenge on you for killing their mate?
Killing? Me? I never killed anyone. God is my witness.
I'm looking for your friends. Where are they?
The charcoal burners? They're over at the...
To hell with the charcoal burners. Where are your bandit mates?
They're not my mates. They nearly killed me. I recognized one of them, so I thought they'd come back and...
Recognized? Who was it? Talk!
I don't know his name, only that he's from Ushets and he has a limp.
What can you tell me about him? How do you know him?
I saw him a few times in the tavern in Ushets, playing dice and boozing.
And?
I know he lives in a house on the edge of the village, but that's all I know. I never talked to him.
And now tell me exactly what happened. And don't leave anything out.
That's quite a long story.
Don't worry, I won't get bored.
All right. I woke up in the middle of the night because I needed to go for a piss. So I went out into the dark, same as usual, only there was something there that shouldn't have been. At first I thought it was just a trick of the light, but it wasn't. Then it was too late. They went past, and I thought they must be horse thieves. I would have yelled, only I was afraid they'd kill me. So I waited until they were out of sight, and I started to sneak away. But then...
Then the slaughtering started?
Yes. I thought they'd steal the horses and ride off. That would be bad enough. But then all the killing started. It was terrible, like hell itself.
And then?
It seemed some of them didn't like it either. They started squabbling among themselves, and some of them started running back.
So you stabbed the first one in the belly?
No. He ran right into me. He was running fast for a fellow with a limp. He pushed me aside, and I fell on the ground. I did what he said and hid. Then the rest of the gang...
And then?
Then I waited in case that limping one from Ujits came back. I didn't dare come up.
What about the others? Was there anything you noticed about them?
I don't know. There might have been maybe 8 of them.
Do you know what they argued about?
I didn't hear everything, but I reckon some of them were only there to steal and wanted no part in the killing.
That sounds terrible.
If only I yelled.
If you had, you'd most likely be dead.
But still.
There was nothing you could do. That's all. Why did you kill...
What? Bandit?
This is yours, isn't it?
That is mine, but...
I've heard everything I need to hear, so I'll leave you be.
Wait! What about me? Won't you help me out?
Perhaps I could.
I'd like to go back to the stud farm, but those
They're out of the way.
Really? That's great, but...
What?
I'm afraid to go back to the farm. I ran away.
I could go and ask.
Would you? You'll definitely have their...
Henry's coming to see us.
I'd like to discuss the What do you say to this?
That sounds pretty interesting. A little less, and I'll be satisfied.
Are we agreed?
I'd almost shake on that. Almost.
Are we agreed?
I'd almost...
I knew we...
I found Ginger. He begged me to ask if he can return.
Why should I take him back? It might be his fault I had to bury my husband.
What?
Why else would he flee but guilt? The men said they didn't see him in bed. He didn't have a...
That's not true. He fled because one of the attackers...
Those are just excuses.
But they came back the very same day. If he hadn't run...
Why would they do...
Why not? They'd already murdered several people. Why...
And now I'm supposed to take him back? What if they come back for...
The cutthroats who were after him have been taken care of.
And what about for revenge? I can't take him back.
I understand your concerns, but you just need to ask Sir Hanish to leave you a guard.
I definitely feel better if someone was...
It can be arranged. I'm sure it's...
Good then.
Well, well. Look who...
I was looking for that boy and...
And you didn't bother telling anyone.
I had to follow the trail before it went cold.
And what if some bandit skewered you and left you for dead? We'd never find you because you told no one where you were going. How would I explain that to Sir Radzig, eh? I really don't know, my lord. He disappeared without...
I...
Silence! Keep your ignorant mouth shut when I'm giving you the benefit of a veteran's wisdom. You do what I'd like to kick your arse back to the castle and be shut of you. But it's true, you're a fucking peasant who knows nothing about God have mercy on you if you ever try anything like that again. If you're lucky, I'll only have you whipped and I hope we've got that out of the way. I've made myself absolutely clear.
I talked to
Out with it, then.
Ginger fled because he recognized one of the raiders. He was afraid they'd come back to silence him.
Well, he was right. They were asking about him. So who did he recognize?
He didn't know his name. Some fellow with a limp from Ujits.
All right. Since you've gone this far, you may as well ask around in Ujits. We've enough to do here in these parts anyway. Sir Radzig will tell you about it. He said to send you to him if you haven't already been.
I'd like to improve my swordsmanship.
Certainly.
I'd like to practice the basics.
All right, but it'll cost you.
Isn't that quite a...
Agreed. Now... Jesus Christ.
Any chance?
It all depends on what you're ready to do, my lad. As I'm sure you've noticed, the roads around here are swarmed. Sir Hanish has declared quite a reward for dealing with them.
So what do you think I should do about them?
We know about one of their encampments. It's to the east of Ratai. I don't really mind how you deal with them. Anyway, the leaders generally wear spurs, maybe like they're pretending their nobility. In any case, bring me the spurs, and I'll take it as proof that the deed's done.
Very well.
Wait. In addition, Sir Hanush has offered a reward for every bandit who's killed. So take a good...
Isn't that a bit...
Barbaric ways.
That does make sense. can return home. It was hard work to convince them, so please don't get into trouble when you go back.
Thank you. I'd like to give you something, but I've got nothing, except if you're ever traveling by way of Neuhof, stop by and I'll show you something with the horses. Stop that! Hey, fuck! A thief!
Welcome, Henry.
God be with you, lad. What can I do for you?
My lord, I managed to find a clue to the whereabouts of the bandits.
Excellent. Bernard already told me what's been happening, but I'd like to hear it straight from the horse's mouth.
The whole story, or just the gist of it, sir?
It's up to you what you consider important.
Well, in the end, I tracked down the stable boy who fled in fear of his life, and for good reason, too. He put me on the trail of a crofter from Ujit with a limp.
And his name?
The boy didn't know him by name, only by sight. But if I ask around, I'm sure folk will know who limps and keeps peculiar company. Villagers like to gossip.
But what if he's not there? He could have fled, maybe even to Kuttenberg.
If I don't find him in Ujit, I'll ask around. Someone will know something about him.
All right. Better go to Ujit then. Find this limping footpad and get the names of the others out of him. They have to face justice for what they did. I want to see them hanged. Then bring him to me in Merhoyed and I'll decide on his fate.
Certainly, sir. Why choose Merhoyed?
It's somewhat at the centre of events, isn't it? And what's more, there's another stud farm there.
Sir, do you think they're going to try the same thing again?
I shouldn't think so. Everyone will be on the alert now, but the secluded dwellings are more vulnerable. There are few people in them. They're scattered everywhere and we can't guard them all.
But the bandits won't find much silver in places like that.
There's always a groschen or two, some food and so on. Anyway, how much silver did they get from slaughtering those horses?
True. If they'd stolen them, they could have sold them. Those were fine animals.
Exactly. It's not about the silver. It's about something else.
But what?
Creating fear. Such great terror that you won't even squeak when they come to cut your throat. Never mind raise your hand against them. Fear that will root you to the spot, staring like a rabbit entranced by a stoat, waiting for the death blow to fall. Helpless to do anything about it.
I have some news about the investigation, sir.
Good. Tell me.
The trail leads to Ujo.
I see.
That's all I found out so far.
All right. Come.
Jesus Christ be praised.
naughty place. Hear ye, good people. You didn't want that? Hear ye, good people. The kingdom of God is at hand, my children.
Have a look at the... Oh!
Watch where you're going.
God be with you.
Can we do something about the...
Well,
Are we agreed?
I'd almost shake on that. Almost.
That's...
God be with you.
About that...
Here you are.
Thank you. I'm glad to see...
Home was burnt to ashes by Sigismund's horde. Vegetables!
God almighty.
Did you happen to...
Of course I will.
Like last time?
Properly done this time. And who else to set the task to than you? The thing is, one of the rich townsmen left his ring behind the last time he went to the baths for some wenching. Too drunk to see it, no doubt. Now he wants it back, and the baths deny all knowledge.
Why not turn to the bailiff?
Why not? Because he doesn't want anyone to know about his bathhouse visits. And the girls in the baths are wary of selling the ring, so we'll make life easier for them. Don't. You won't be left short. The ring's hidden in the chest in the bathhouse. Hey!
I'd like to try...
All right. Hey! Watch it!
Have you...
I don't know.
I'd like to,
And what is it?
I'll certainly need a physician to treat my wounds. Then a hot bath and laundering my clothes.
But of course, money first, though.
I'm not giving you that.
And how much are... You won't regret spending the money. God bless. My God, what are you doing? Stop that, you magpie!
By all that's holy! Watch out! There's a thief here! I see a thief! Guard!
What is it?
Guard! I see a thief! Guard! Guard! Come here quick! There's a thief over there!
You! Someone reported you were picking. It's definitely one connection.
Oh well, what can I...
You've purchased. Give me back the stolen goods and...
Lord on, what are you doing?
How about another little outing with me?
You never give up, do you? That would be great. Only not just now. Come and see me in a day or two.
Be a bit more careful.
I'd like to make use of...
Uh-huh.
Oh, well, sir.
As you...
I'm not giving you...
And how much... You won't regret...
Move along, citizens. Move along. There's nothing to see here.
That's what you call nothing to see. I'd like to know what something to see looks like.
By the keys of St. Peter, this is all I need. We'll have to send word to Sir Hanush.
That might not be necessary.
Who are you?
I'm Henry of Skalitz, in the service of Hanush's Captain Bernard. I'm investigating the attack at Neuhof, and I think this could be related.
Well, I'm the bailiff of Auschwitz. And I say we don't want any of that kind of trouble around here. What makes you think this has anything to do with Neuhof?
One of the folk at the stud farm recognized someone from Auschwitz among the bandits.
We have no bandits or murderers around here.
Really? They say he had a limp?
Shit. Well, allow me to introduce you to Limpy Lubosh. Or all that's left of him.
Sacre. Nothing's ever easy. I'll have to take a look around and ask a few more questions, if that's all right with you.
You can take this mess off my hands and welcome to it. As for what else there is to find out, I don't know. But look and ask all you like.
Who was Limpy Lubosh?
A poor crofter and a scoundrel. Can't say I'm too surprised what happened to him. He kept company with all sorts of vermin. He was always getting into some kind of trouble. Punch-ups in the tavern and what have you.
How come he limped?
He got that from some villainy or brawl a long time ago.
Has he been up to anything suspicious lately?
I don't know. The last few days he didn't go anywhere. He was home the whole...
Did he have any kith or kin in the village?
None. A loner...
Do you happen to know where he was on the night of the Neuhof raid?
I've no...
When did you find the body?
Just now. And nobody saw or heard anything.
Another thing about...
Look where
serious?
you're going.
Hey, watch it. I'll remember you.
God be with you.
I've come in the name...
Of course. Ask away.
That man Lubosh who was murdered.
He was a drunk who was always looking for a fight.
Have you noticed...
Well, now I think of it, I hadn't seen him around for a while.
Do you know what Lub...
Not a clue.
Do you know anyone Lub...
He was a loner. He didn't even...
That's all. Thank you.
I'd like to learn to read.
You? You don't look like the mate. Bear in mind, it won't be all that easy. You'll need plenty of time.
All right.
Very well. I will require some groschen from you, though, and set aside at least a couple of days.
Here are your...
Then we may as well start. He did break his vow, but better than to dishonor it here. May he follow his heart. Wake up, lad. It's time we were getting on. So, let's see you read a bit. There's a book here on the table. Try to read it.
Will I manage?
You ought to be able to. It's a simple text. Come back once you've worked your way through it.
I've read the book.
Wonderful. So tell me.
There was something about...
Ah, well, the main thing is you've managed to read the book. The rest is just practice. Oh, like I told you, books are valuable. And the words that...
Does that mean that I can read then?
Yes, you have the foundation. Remember, my boy, the pen is mightier than the sword. To fully... Now we'll move on to the second lesson, which will be much harder. Many books are written in Latin, the language of erudite. There's a book on the table with some text. Read it and then come back. You need not understand it, but you should master the letters.
I only just managed the fable about the goose, and now you're asking me...
You're a clever lad.
What the hell? Hey! Be a bit more careful!
I read the page.
So tell me, Distrupule, what's written there?
Null...
Good heavens! Don't tell me you haven't had lessons before. Excellent.
Thank you, Domine. I'm feeling...
My respects to you.
God be with you.
I've come...
Of course.
Do you know anyone Lubosh?
He was a loner.
That's all. Thank you.
Jesus, look where you're going.
The blessings of our good Lord be with you, Father. I'm here in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa, investigating the massacre at Neuhof, which seems to be connected to a murder here. Can I ask you a few questions?
It seems Sir Hanush is employing children as investigators. But ask as you wish, boy. I hope this nasty business will be cleared up quickly.
Did you know Lubosh? What was he like?
A bit of a lost soul. Simple, rough fellow, but at heart I don't think he was such...
Did you notice anything suspicious recently?
My child. All sorts of suspicious things have been going on recently. People like Lubosh don't know what to do about it, and sometimes they do stupid things.
That's really not a lot of help to me, Father.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing on the day Neuhof was raided?
Unfortunately, I do know. And I'd like to help you with your investigation, but I can't.
What?
I'm bound by certain vows that forbid me to tell you.
Vows more important than catching dangerous murderers?
There are laws of God above the laws of man, son. And one of those is the sanctity of the confession.
Father, surely you can't be serious. There must be situations in which you can make an exception.
There are things that apply always, no matter what the circumstances, and this is one of them.
But Lubosh is dead. You can't hurt him, but if you don't tell me, more innocent people may die.
If I told you, I would be betraying a vow that's a cornerstone of the Holy Church. If people believed the sanctity of the confessional couldn't be trusted, the consequences would be even worse than that.
Worse than the death of innocent Christians? Worse than the murderer escaping punishment?
No one escapes punishment.
Father, Lubosh was my only lead to the Neuhof raid. If I don't find out who it was, it will probably happen again. Surely...
I wouldn't. But I can't betray the sanctity of the confession. Suppose we talk it over in the evening.
All right. Thank you.
I see you know how... I wouldn't have expected that from him.
With a stick. I practice with a stick.
Do you have any...
My dear lad, I have more worries than I can bear. I have to deal with a local witch.
A witch?
The herb woman, old Gertrude. That devious hag who will stoop to anything. Like all herbalists, for that matter.
Oh, don't tell me. The cows are giving blood instead of milk, and babies are being born with...
This is no laughing matter. Gertrude isn't evil. She just has peculiar ideas about what's good for people. A little bird told me...
A little bird?
You know how good people are at seeing the splinter in another's eye and not the beam in their own.
In other words, someone's been gossiping. And what's the problem?
As long as herb women stick to giving psychic to folk and bloated cows, assisting in childbirth, or burning incense. But this is sacrilege, and it's unsafe. All sorts of molds and lichens and poisonous plants and other foul things go into those concoctions.
What do you want me?
I want you to go and see her and find out what she's been up to. I know she lives in fear of the Holy Church, so tell her I sent you. That will make her talk and think twice about encouraging witchcraft. If you learn that she truly did involve folk in some foolishness, find out.
Consider it done.
Good. And never fear. I'm a man who always pays his debts. You'll find Gert...
Yeah!
I've come in the name of Sir Hanish of Lipa. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder here as well.
Ask all you want.
Who was this?
Those that live by the sword die by the sword. I'm not surprised the end he came to.
Oh shit.
Have you noticed?
Everything about him was suspicious.
Do you know what?
How would I know?
Do you know who?
I don't know, since I don't go to alehouses.
That's all.
I've come from the priest. They're saying you incited some women to witchcraft.
Me? Witchcraft? That's nothing but idle chatter.
Don't you know that witches get burned alive?
There's no need for trouble. I'll tell you everything. I've done a very foolish thing. It's preying on my mind so much I can't sleep a wink.
But I'm supposed to believe an old witch has pangs of...
Laugh if you like, but it's not a word of a lie. You probably know I sell various magic lotions. You see, Vera, Zlata, and Kuta from Uzhitz wanted a magic ointment.
What kind of ointment was it?
One that will show you a world no one else can see. A place of wonder and terror. I don't know if it's the work of the devil or of God himself, but the ointment has that power.
So all this talk of witches anointing themselves and then...
The ointment could make a person see such things. But it was stupid of me letting those...
Will you give me...
It contains belladonna and the herb Paris, both quite poisonous.
So why do...
Because I'm soft-hearted. You see, one of those women, Vera, lost her whole family in Skalitz. They said they wanted to use the ointment to speak with the...
Yeah. I understand how they feel.
Judge not, lest ye be judged. I didn't want to give them the ointment, but they offered me a pile of groschen.
Their plea, or the clink of... And why...
I'm losing sleep over it. Firstly, those women don't know what they're doing.
They burn them alive.
That they do. So...
It didn't bother you before, though. What did they want?
Each one of them lost a loved one recently.
What kind?
One that will... I don't...
So all this...
The ointment...
I want to know... I've heard...
If you've heard enough, you must understand why I need your help. Find out... Thank you 1,000-fold. I'll go to the...
Can we do something about the price?
Well... Fine.
My respects.
Look where you... Hello!
The blessings of our Lord be...
And with you, lad. Take a seat. I'm sorry I can't tell you everything. But maybe we can work something out. But first I'd like to hear something about you, my son. With whom do I have the honor? Where are you from?
I'm from Skalitz.
Oh, I'm sorry. What about your kin?
They're dead.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Here, we'll drink to them. It must have been terrible.
It was terrible. It seemed so pointless. We had no warning. They just appeared and began the slaughter. God knows why. They killed anyone who didn't make it to the shelter of the castle. My parents, my girl. I didn't make it to the castle. I wanted to try and help my parents, but there was nothing I could do. They almost killed me. They slaughtered people in the surrounding villages. There was a pile of bodies in front.
My poor child. And how did you come to get this assignment? I'd have expected Sir Hanush to...
He did, but I found a witness and the trail led here to Ujit, so he sent me here to follow.
Ah, well, congratulations. It's nice to see someone using their... Now the most important thing. What actually happened at Noyle? The good...
The rumours aren't exaggerated this time. The Neuhoff stud farm was raided by bandits, but they didn't come to pillage or even take the horses. I'm sure they would have killed more, but the bandits quarrelled among themselves and broke off the attack. And judging by what's left of our Lubosh, they're still settling accounts.
I see it's every bit as bad as people claimed. Dreadful. Well then, here's to those poor souls who had to die so
I've told you all about me. Now it's your turn, Father. You don't look much like... I noticed you're pretty handy with a sword. I wouldn't expect that of a man of the cloth.
You know what they say. The Lord moves in mysterious ways.
But this is a bit more mysterious.
Let's just say I haven't always been a priest. Fate these days, of course, it's just a bit of...
Well, we've had an agreeable chat, but now So, about this confessional seal. Do you really want more innocent people to die?
Henry, that's not how it works.
I'd like to be.
There are matters in which you can't make exceptions because if you do it once, if people stop believing in the church because their confessional secrets are betrayed...
I understand, but that means I've reached a dead end. Those cutthroats will strike...
Chin up, lad. I might have a solution.
What?
If I tell you what Lubosh told me, I'd be betraying the confessional secret. But...
Word of honor?
On my soul.
I always wondered about the things a priest tells his congregation.
Well, Ujit is in Prague. It's not enough to instruct people. They have to be entertained, too.
Our priest wasn't exactly a bard. So what do you preach to your flock about?
It has to be something topical. Condemning vices. And a tongue lashing about the two popes goes down well these days. And stories from real life, with a nice moral to them, are popular as well. Especially if they're about fornication.
Can you give me an example?
Well, recently a priest by the name of Jan Hus started preaching in Prague, in the Czech language, and the people liked it. I hear he always has a full house. A journeyman who heard him told me what Hus is preaching, and I like the sound of it. I'm thinking about putting it in my own.
What's so amazing about it?
The preaching of Master Jan Hus about Mother Church. The lamentable wealth in which the church is drowning has turned just like a flock of hungry ravens. They settled on this land. They know no mercy. Their hearts are corrupt. You want to baptize a child? Pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay. And what if the devil himself were to pay? With such money gained from the poor, they buy beautiful horses to ride and needless servants to pamper them. They gamble at dice and dress their whores in expensive furs, while Jesus Christ walked barefoot and had no place to lay his head. Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you are seen by God and his people too. Amen.
Well, this Jan Hus character is quite a rebel.
Oh, the congregation will love it.
I don't doubt it.
Let's drink to that.
Funny. That last bit...
What do you mean? My situation's completely different. Huth preaches against the prelates and the clerics who are robbing the... I'm one with them in poverty and suffering and everything that troubles them. I drink with them.
What do the common folk?
They like it. They're happy to hear someone say what they think themselves, but are afraid to say aloud. In a few years, it'll have grown beyond control. You mark my words, the people...
Yeah, unless they burn him at the stake first.
Nonsense. They can't burn a man.
Don't you think it's a bit odd when someone boozes and lives in sin with a woman?
No, I don't.
Where can I find out more about his...
You like it? I copied down some of his sermons. If you're in...
What do you think of...
He's certainly a wise man. If he got out of Prague and came here for a look, I'm sure he'd stop condemning drinking and lying with women.
Thanks for the sermon, but I think I've been... it's getting quite late.
What do you suppose? We have a... I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Przyszła bida mora lat, to nie ustoi żadnej chlap. Na kraj padł dziesięć smutek, do dnie i rano utek, niech już może zimaj sad, do wczera żylne staje prach. Už sejmo i svatý muži, nechtěl bych bejbě jich kůži, nám je to jedno a tak si dáme jedno a požerem si huby jako poslední den. Budeme se bavit a do rána slávit a tak vypal sudy a posaď se mi sem, tak posaď se sem a vypal je ven. Ukaž kozy jako vozy, zítra jen tu jsou nejdem, tak nalej mi hned, ať točí se svět.
Enough of this!
Bailiff! Come on over here, sit down and have a drink with us.
Don't vex me again, Father. It's 3 hours past dusk, and curfew is long gone.
So what?
So, I'll have you all whipped and put in the stocks, and I'll write a letter to the bishop about you, priest.
Well, nothing to worry about then. Everyone knows the only one around here who can ride is me.
Enough! Men, throw them out.
Oh. You looking for a fight? Henry, back me up.
I wonder what Teresa's doing now. I could stop by and see her again.
Come over here.
You fucked up there.
Goddamn.
Take that.
Oh! You're gonna cry now.
So, my dear, would you like to have a little ring on the bell? Sooner said than done.
I'd love to. And Henry, too, I'm sure. Right, Henry?
Stop that nonsense, Godwin. Are you out of your mind? What will people say?
They can say what they like. What do I care? What do they do to me?
Here we are. Look at this beauty.
Oh. We can't do this, can we?
Who says? Get ringing, wench.
This is wonderful.
Ah, bloody oath. And now, my dears, comes the climax of the evening.
Godwin, you old goat.
Come here. Oh.
The priest has mounted up. What do you say, Henry? Shall we take a little ride of our own?
Hey! What? What the hell are you doing? What? Well, I have to say that was a fine evening.
Godwin, you beast! Get up! Do you hear me? Wake up, you drunkards!
Oh, fucking hell. Where the... Oh, what the... Oh, who the hell are you? Oh, Henry. My great friend, Henry. Didn't we have a wonderful time?
Well, you certainly did, you old lecher. Now you better pull yourself together quick. You haven't much time. There's some water and something to eat on the table there, but if I were you, I would move my hairy arse before my flock eats me alive.
Oh, step on in my head. My guts. Oh, my poor suffering stomach. Oh, what was that woman on about? Before my flock eats me alive. I've forgotten something. What have I forgotten?
Where the fuck am I?
What the fuck was it? Oh. Mass! Oh shit, I have to say mass. I gotta say mass. You have to help me.
How? You're the priest.
I can't do it in this state. Maybe the liturgy. But I have to give a sermon as well. Oh, this is a disaster. They're gonna excommunicate me.
I'd like to help you, but...
You can. You can do the sermon for me.
What? So, first I investigate a murder no one wants investigated. Then I drunkenly keep the whole town up all night. And now you want me to preach at them from the pulpit? Do you want them to burn us at the stake?
No. No, I've got it. Suppose that Sir Radzig's protege. You just came from studying in Prague. And you want to share the words of Master Jan Hus, who you recently heard preaching there. Henry, look, from what I remember, we might have overdone it a bit last night. And if the bailiff or someone else complains about me, the bishop's gonna have my guts for garters. So I'd appreciate it. Stop gaping at me like a stuffed squirrel and start helping.
You're mad. You're stark raving mad.
I'm not. It's a perfect plan. It's flawless. Oh. How about this? If you help me with this, I'll tell you who Lubosh's cronies are. No, neither can I.
What do you want me to do?
I'll go and start the liturgy. Then I'll introduce you. You give the sermon. No need to drag it out. If it turns out well...
Christ almighty.
Wonderful. Let's get to it then. Hey, watch it. Folk these days. Come on then, what's the holdup? We've no...
Never show up. The swill dog.
Look at him. He can hardly walk after his capers last night.
You were with them, you beast. Just you wait.
Look at him. Mother of God. Any minute now he'll throw up.
So I couldn't sleep a wink last night with all that clamor.
In nomine Patris, et Filii, et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Accepit panem in sanctas at venerabiles a manus suas. Hac facite in meam commemorationem.
Brothers and sisters, you may have had the honor of meeting Henry from Skalitz, who is here at the behest of Sir Hanush to investigate that heinous crime at Neuhof. You might not know that Henry recently visited Prague, where, by the grace of God, was able to hear Master Jan Hus from the esteemed Charles University preaching. I've managed to persuade Henry to stand here today in my stead and tell us what he heard. Because, as you all probably know, Jan Hus is a very popular preacher in Prague. So, Henry, you may begin.
Now I'm curious which one of them will puke first.
Greetings, brothers and sisters in Christ. I am here to tell you about Mother Church and to show you through my words how she is falling into decay and abandon, how the once great mother of all Christians is losing her dignity and trading in souls like the merchants in the temple. But I am digressing.
That whelp wants to preach about the church.
Just as we are commanded to obey the priests in matters of virtue, so are we
Hear that, Godwin?
It is the corrupt, and it is all due to they think sins can.
Prague didn't do much for his confidence.
It is the custom of the gluttonous prelates and monks to preach against sin. But what do they know of a... Let us remember the marriage at Cana, where our Lord Jesus Christ himself feasted with the other guests and drank his fill. And when the wine... He, whose companions were poor travellers, simple folk, prostitutes and troublemakers...
Now that's the kind of sermon I like.
No, brothers and sisters. Jesus did not condemn alcohol. Drink to lighten the cross you bear in this for there should be moderation in all things, and it is not...
He's right!
Enough about sin, which the prelates are so fond of preaching about, and whose Look at them. And that is not right.
And...
God sees what is happening. Blessed are the shepherds who share the poverty of their flock, who are as one with you, and bear with you the burden of this earthly pilgrimage, who do not condemn your venial sins.
Aye, all honour to Godwin. Let him drink like one of us.
That is all I heard in Prague. Amen.
Have you no shame, you pair of buffoons? I'll be writing to the bishop of this. For shame.
Utterly blasphemous.
Can you believe such behaviour? For men of the cloth to get drunk at things
So, is our deal still on?
Are you pulling my fucking pizzle? I couldn't have done worse myself if I'd puked on the altar.
Well, I'm no preacher.
Yeah, I noticed. And I wasn't the only one.
You can't be serious. After all that.
All what? All you making a complete hash of my sermon? You were supposed to help, not get me into even more trouble. Now I'll have the bishop on my back, and all the villagers. Just leave, I need to pull myself together.
What's the matter with you? We have to start Mass. It's already late.
Hey, watch it. Folk the damn.
What are you doing?
That whelp wants to preach about the
One should not...
He's right.
It is the corruption of God's pastors here on earth. Plague. And it is all due... They think sin...
Prague.
It is the... Let us remember... He.
Now that's the kind of...
No, for there's...
He's right!
Enough about sin, and whose absolution they promised. What if the devil himself were to pay? Will the bishop... And what about those bishops? They sin without remorse, and with the money grasped from the poor for indulgences, they keep fine horses and hordes of servants to pamper them. They play dice and garb their mistresses in expensive furs, while Christ, the Lamb... Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you are seen by...
Down with the prelates! Away!
We're fortunate to have our good Father Godwin!
God sees what is happening on... Blessed are the shepherds who share the...
Aye, all honour to Godwin.
That is all I heard in Prague.
lad spoke well, considering what a soak he is.
He's right, that Hus.
The young man shouldn't drink so much, but the Lord's given him a
I'm glad
silver
he
tongue.
came here. I don't suppose I'll ever get to Prague, and he told it nicely.
Well, well, my boy, you have talent, and I can't deny it. And you pulled a thorn from my side. I almost didn't make it.
Yeah, I noticed. I wasn't the only one.
Oh, what's to be done? I'll make it up somehow.
So, about our bargain.
Although it's a sin.
So gluttony and fornication.
God does forgive a penitent.
So, what did Limpy Lubosh tell you? Was he at Neuhof that day? Who was with him? And where are they now?
Now, slow down. I'm sorry, but he didn't tell me that much.
Don't let me down after all I've been through. For you...
Well, now Lubosh came to me shortly after it happened. His conscience was gnawing at him. And I must say, in the end, he turned out to be a better man than he looked. He said they'd been hired through some crony of theirs. And at first they were just to steal some horses. But then it all turned sour and people started getting killed. And neither he nor his cronies wanted anything to do with that. So they fell out from the gang and fled.
Fell out? Yeah, there was a body found in the woods by Neuhof.
That would explain something. Lubosh kept jabbering that he wasn't a murderer, that he didn't want to do it.
So I know that Lubosh killed the murderer and he's dead too. The trouble is, I need to find the ones who are still alive. I need names and places. Did he mention any of the others?
Only nicknames. Talked about some fella called Riki from Ledechko, Pius, Timmy.
Pius. That lot are about as pious as I am ordained.
Nonsense. You would make an excellent priest. And anyhow, with your skills, you ought to be able to sniff out this Riki from Ledechko, right?
Well, we'll have to now. There's not much else to go on. Let's hope he's not hanging from the wall too.
Indeed. And I'd hate to be excommunicated for nothing. Anyhow, good luck. You watch out for yourself. These people clearly mean business. And I'd like to raise a tankard with you again sometime.
Yeah, I'll try. Although I'm not sure I'd survive another night of your debauchery.
And if anyone should ask, you heard nothing from me. I'll deny everything.
I don't doubt it.
Be a bit more careful!
Gone weak at the knees, has he? Now you're dead. Down! Vale, Deliverance.
Bollocks! Is that the best you can do?
Wait, I need to talk to you. Hey, wait a moment.
Hey!
Damn! You're the young fellow.
Yes. No.
The lady of the castle was asking after you.
Ah.
Very well.
Good day to you.
Can we try?
If you've got the call.
Watch it. You can't draw your weapon here.